And I'm super excited to welcome you at Fluttercon for my presentation. I'm going to talk about how you can simplify your design systems and your UI reviews with your entire product team. I'd like to start my presentation with a question. Who in this audience has already heard about Widgetbook? Okay, amazing, it's everyone. And who in this presentation has already used Widgetbook before? Okay, amazing. Also a lot of people. And who is using Widgetbook right now in production? Amazing. Do you guys want to give the presentation? No, of course, I'm just joking. I'm going to proceed. For everyone that has not heard about Widgetbook yet, we are primarily an open source package and an open source company. And we've been super community focused over the past 2 years. We've been organizing a lot of Flutter events ourselves. We've gone to a lot of Flutter events. But we've, of course, not only had fun with the community, but we also actually built something for the Flutter community, which is why I've been featured by Google's Flutter team as experts for both design systems, but also for designer-developer collaboration. So, for example, Google team in this case and Adobe featured us at Flutter Forward at the biggest Flutter conference that happened last year. But enough about the past. What are we going to learn today? Today, we're going to talk about the open source package of Widgetbook. It's going to help you to build your own design system, and also it's going to help you to quickly test your widgets in various use cases. Then we're going to talk about Widgetbook Cloud as well. With Widgetbook Cloud, you can first of all host your Widgetbook to share it with your entire team, and then you can also use it to automate your golden tests, and then also to simplify your design reviews. And I'm also super excited to welcome to stage today 3 of our customers. First of all, we're going to have Joachim from Lotum, who's going to talk about how Lotum could maximize their developer experience at their game 4 Pigs 1 Word. Then we're going to have Anton from 1,5, who is going to talk about harmonizing the design development workflow with Widgetbook. And then we're going to have Albert from LeanCode on stage as well, who's going to showcase how LeanCode uses Widgetbook and how you can use Widgetbook as a software agency. So let's start with the presentation. How does app development usually start? Usually it starts with the client who has some idea, and the designer then has a job of bringing that idea to life in a design. And whenever your app should stay around for more than 6 months, you're usually considering building your own design system to ensure consistent user experience throughout your entire app lifecycle. And for designers, that's quite easy to achieve. There's a tool called Figma. Everyone knows it, everyone's using it. But unfortunately, for us Flutter developers, something like that didn't exist for a long time. And it was really difficult to build our own Flutter design system. That's why we built Widgetbook. We also say Widgetbook is the storybook for Flutter, because that's actually the background of our team. So we've been web developers in the past, always used Storybook.js. At some point, made the right decision of switching to Flutter, but unfortunately there was no storybook solution. That's why we decided to build it for ourselves, and then more and more web development friends switched to Flutter, and we decided, okay, let's open source it, make it available for everyone, and then a lot of people kept swarming in the Discord server, and here we are today, and I'm happy to show you how you can set up the open source package. So first of all, what's important to note is that Widgetbook is like a separate app in your Flutter project, and it works best in a monorepo structure where you organize your UI components in a separate package. And to include Widgetbook in your app, you use 3 different packages of Widgetbook in your app. One is Widgetbook annotation, the other one is the main Widgetbook package, and then also the Widgetbook generator. And as soon as you have them included, in your pubspec YAML file, it's already your chance to catalog your first widgets in Widgetbook now. And it's actually quite simple to do because you can just use our add-use-case annotation in front of the widgets. So how you're doing it, you are writing the add-widgetbook.useCase annotation. You provide the name of the use case. In our case, we just have one use case. That's why we name it default. And then you need the type. The type is just the widget that you want to include in the Widgetbook. In our case, it's an app bar. And then we need a method. You can name it whatever you like. We named it app bar use case. And then we're returning the app bar. And what's now important is that you need to mock all the required parameters for that app bar. in our case, the required parameter is title, and you got to provide the mock. In our case, it's just a string, so we wrote groceries app as a mock, and that's all you got to do. Afterwards, you can use our add-widgetbook.app annotation to create the structure of your widgetbook. And you can use that add-widgetbook.app annotation in your new main file of your separate widgetbook package. And then in the end, you're just returning your widgetbook, and that's everything, because afterwards you can just run the build runner so that the widgetbook initially is being generated for you, and afterwards it's automatically maintained for you. And then you can use everyone's favorite Flutter command, Flutter run, and let's see it in action. So you see here on the left side, you get a nice overview of all of your different widgets. So you can start just with your atoms. So for example, with your badge or your card, but you can also catalog more complex widgets like molecules. So for example, the basket card, or also entire screens like the basket screen. And you have the chance for each and every widget that you're cataloging to catalog different use cases of your widgets. So in our case with the basket screen, we have one use case empty and another use case filled. So you have, in the end, the chance to catalog all of your relevant use cases here. Additionally, because in the end, Widgetbook is just a Flutter build for you, you have the chance of also interacting with your widgets. So you do not only see how the widget looks, but you can also feel the UX of the widget. And that's already it for your design system. Was quite easy. And afterwards, we're now going to talk about how you can quickly test your widgets in different use cases using our add-ons and our knobs. Why is that even relevant? So nowadays, apps became more and more complex because we need to support multiple settings nowadays. For designers, in Figma, it's quite easy to build their designs for different device sizes, for different themes, for different languages. But for us as developers, it's always a bit cumbersome to test them. So testing our widgets in our use cases can take forever. And because we don't want you to go through that struggle and become a skeleton, we give you a Widgetbook that can give you some superpowers. And add-ons, first of all, allow you to preview your widgets in different global properties without needing to rerun the emulator all the time. And you can use the add-ons just where you're returning your widgetbook. You just have a new property called add-ons, and you then can insert a list of add-ons. An example here could be a theme add-on. So in this case, we included a light and a dark theme, but you can include different themes, as many as you like. It's just an example here. And if we see it in action, and we now have the chance to preview, for example, our basket screen in the filled use case in light and dark mode. You also have the chance to preview it easily in different device sizes without having to rerun emulators, set up different emulators. It's no longer an issue. You can just use it in Widgetbook. And same goes for languages. So you have the chance of also quickly showcasing your widgets, for example, in English or German. But here again, you can include many more languages, many more device sizes. Really, the sky or your imagination is the limit here. And these are only 3 add-ons I showcased. So amazingly, I'm super happy of having 3 of our customers with me on stage today. But we also already have quite a strong open source community around Widgetbook. We already have more than 2,500 active users in the Discord server, and they've been actively helping us to develop add-ons as well. So there are many more to explore. Feel free to check them out. Then we also have knobs, and knobs allow us to preview our widgets in different widget-specific properties. So in the case of the app bar, I hope you all still remember, there was the first use case that we cataloged. There we just provided the mock straight after the title, but with the knobs, we are able to dynamically override our widgets in the Widgetbook UI. So what we are writing here then is we're just using context.knobs.string. We provide it with an initial label. In this case, we call it title. That's going to appear in the Widgetbook UI on the right side. and then we give it an initial value. In our case, groceries app, that can then be overwritten, and let's see it in action. So we now have the chance to just overriding the title, and are therefore, for example, able to check, okay, how does my title look if I do not only have one line, but 2 lines? Is it still the experience I wanted to have? And this example here is just with the data type string, but we provide every data type in Widgetbook, so also feel free to check out the knobs feature as well. And that's already it regarding the open source package. So the benefits of the free open source package are you can quickly build your own design system with Widgetbook, and can then also quickly test your widgets in different use cases. And if you want to get started, just check out docs.widgetbook.io. But I also promise you, I talk a bit about how you can simplify your UI reviews, and that's the next part. And therefore, a question for the audience again, who already experienced struggles in the collaboration with designers? Yeah, okay, that's also basically everyone again, and we are here to save you. So we developed Widgetbook Cloud for that. It mainly simplifies UI reviews for you, especially with designers, but also with product managers, QA testers, sometimes also marketing, basically anyone that is somehow involved in product. And Widgetbook Cloud allows you to do 3 things. You can first of all host your Widgetbook, but then you can also automate golden tests and simplify your design reviews. And for hosting Widgetbook builds, what you can do is you can just integrate your Widgetbook Cloud in your CI/CD pipeline to share one Widgetbook per branch and per commit. So basically, anytime you are pushing a new commit to your repository, we are hosting one Widgetbook build for that on Widgetbook Cloud. And to see it in action, you get a nice list of all of the different Widgetbook builds. And if you select a build, you then have the chance to preview it and share it with your entire team. And let's say the core feature that's mainly used on Widgetbook Cloud is our reviews feature. And with that, you can automate golden tests and simplify design reviews. And how that works is, whenever you are creating a pull request, we are automatically analyzing for you what changed visually in your UI. So what we're doing is we are taking snapshots of each and every Widgetbook use case cataloged in your Widgetbook for, first of all, your base branch. So in our case, here it's the staging branch. And then also for your head branch, in our case, it's the Fluttercon challenge branch. And then we are comparing those 2 snapshots of the latest builds with each other. And then we're running visual UI regression tests, or in Flutter called golden tests, for you to really figure out what changed. And then we present those changes for you in an overview. So on Widgetbook Cloud, you would first of all see a list of your open reviews that you have. And once you select the open reviews, as in this case, you get a list of all of those changes. In this example, in this pull request, we had 3 changes because our primary button changed. Also 2 screens were affected. And that's why, first of all, for us as Flutter developers, we can figure out, okay, where are my changes really intentional? Did I really wanted to have these changes? Yes or no? Yes, amazing, all good. And we can pass it on, because it can also be really interesting for the designers to check out what we built. And because sometimes it's not so easy to grasp what changed, we also have this highlight diff button. And that highlights for you in pink what changed when the widgets are more complex, as for example in this screen. And you then also have the chance to not only see on the left side, that's how the code looks before, whereas that's how it looks now, but you also have the chance, if you click on View Design in Widgetbook Cloud, to also see how does my widget look in Flutter versus the Figma implementation. And that's how you can use Widgetbook Cloud to keep design and code in sync. And afterwards, your designers and developers can live together happily ever after.